Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating young woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hi, my name is Katrina Lloyd. I'm based out of Massachusetts. And my story started back in 2017 when I lost my sister, Cherie Campbell, resulting from domestic violence. And after really trying to digest everything that happened, I really wanted to dig deep to find a way to honor her in some way. So her and I, something that we always did together growing up, we used to sing all the time around the house. We used to sing in church as well. And I've always had a passion for fashion. So I merged the two passions together and created Falsetto, the label. So Falsetto, the label, the purpose is to empower families, women, girls, men, and boys as well to be the best they can be in life. And that is shown through fashion, empowering message on clothing, on t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies. And Falsetto donates 20% of sales to domestic violence charities in support of their causes to really raise awareness and support those that have been affected by domestic violence. In addition, I also love to give back to other causes. So through that, I've partnered with other small businesses that also give back to different charities and incorporate them into my brand as well to expand my philanthropic reach to other charities as well. So I officially launched Falsetto the label in June of 2023. It's a funny story, actually. I was trying to figure out the day I wanted to launch Falsetto the label, and I'm really a strong believer in God. And I was praying, when do I launch the brand? And I was on a work trip for my full-time job and thinking, when do I launch it? And I traveled to Texas, and I arrived to my hotel room, and my hotel room number was 611. And this was around March timeframe. So I launched Falsetto the label on June 11th of 2023. Business has been pretty steady so far. It's like a slow start, kind of slow and steady, getting some orders in, but I'm just so grateful to give back to charities I've supported thus far and really raising awareness for domestic violence overall in honor of my sister. And as a result of this, other women have shared their stories with me, those that have been affected by domestic violence. I'm really sharing a cause in terms of people are shopping not just for clothing, but it's for like a good cause and reason, and it really empowers them as well while wearing the clothing. Some of my designs, they incorporate music notes as a nod to falsetto, because falsetto is a musical register that is higher outside of a normal singer's range. So it's like unique, it's beautiful, it's unique to each and every individual. So I really like to use the brand to really empower everyone overall. Also with my brand, my family has really been involved with the process overall and supporting my brand. My husband serves as my photographer and really helping with the brand strategy. And I actually have twin daughters. So my daughters, Brooke and Sage, they're 9 years old. They really help to provide their ideas for the t-shirt and hoodies and sweatshirt designs as well. And it's become really popular with their friends as they wear it to school, and they're really becoming a part of the process overall. So they really do enjoy, I really do enjoy incorporating my family and helping me with the brand. It's really like a family story as well. And I'm really hoping that through this, that I really honor my sister, Cherie, in the end. I think she would really be really happy what I'm doing. And it's bringing my family together as well. In terms of my mom, it's she proudly wears Falsetto, the label, and really likes to share the story with others as well. So I'm really happy for this opportunity to do something that I really enjoy, and it also honors a really good cause in support of domestic violence. And I'm really clear about my message as well, in terms of my mission is to really give back, and I'm clear. Hey, I give back 20% of sales to domestic violence charities. I'm very clear on the percentage. I want people to know where their money is going to. So I really want to share the story in that manner as well. In terms of my marketing, I really like to market really word of mouth and also through social media as well, and then sharing with friends. And I also attend networking events as well and pop-up shops local to Massachusetts where I reside. So that's been really good. But I really like engaging with other women in business. I really think we can really help each other to lift each other up. And it's really important that I support other women as well in their endeavors, because sometimes it takes a tribe. It takes a tribe to make sure that everyone is successful in what they want to do. But really, if your cause is deeply rooted, it really will truly carry you through in the end. And I really feel that that is really, really important for any brand that's just starting up, and try not to be overwhelmed by what other people are doing, because that's easy to be included into like the copy culture of what are other people doing out there? Should I be doing that as well? I think it's important to really focus on what your mission is and stay true to that, because I've had a few questions about that from others. I know a few other women-owned small businesses that are starting their brand, and you easily get diverted in terms of trying to copy what others are doing, but stick to what your story is. Why did you start your brand to begin with? But I'm really happy with where the brand is going. For future, I really want to expand the brand even more in terms of including other women-owned small businesses that give back. Right now, I incorporate 2 other women-owned small businesses that give back. One gives back to women in need, and the other gives back to find a cure for type 1 diabetes. So I'm really happy to support these brands as well. And I want my mission to really be unique and really reaching back to a wide variety of different causes for my philanthropic efforts. And that's really the mission overall. So I'm hoping to incorporate 10 in about 5 years. That's my goal. And I really think I'm on a good track to reach that goal ultimately. But I'm really proud of the brand and where things are going so far. So this is something brand new for me in terms of being a women-owned small business. My background is in the federal government. I'm working in policy and acquisition. So this is a different realm, but I do have a background. I have a bachelor's in marketing and also a master's degree in communications. So I'm really well suited to do this role, to support such a great cause and also incorporate my love for fashion. Just growing up, I've always loved to design clothes, sew clothes, put clothes outfits together. I used to draw a lot. Like, it's always been like my creative side. I just always enjoyed, jewelry, fashion, how you can put a nice outfit together, throw in a quick accessories and go. Particularly as moms nowadays, you wanted something that's easy and quick. And like, for example, if you have like a t-shirt, you can dress up a t-shirt really quick. You can throw a t-shirt on, tuck it up really nice, have high-waisted pants, throw on a necklace and a bracelet, and you're good to go. And I like Falsetto to be versatile in that way too, that it's not such a casual wear. It's also something that you can dress up or down, and I've done both. I've worn nice high-waisted dress pants with my t-shirts and also my sweatshirts as well. Or if you're going out to work out, I have a zip-up hoodie for that you can wear as well. With some leggings. And my slogan for Falsetto, the label, is hit your high note. So that's a nod to Falsetto, that for women and girl and men and boy empowerment as well. You can do anything and you can be anything in life. The sky is the limit and you can do it. I tell my girls every day, there's nothing you can't do. And growing up, my mom would always tell me don't let can'ts be a part of your vocabulary. So that always stuck in my mind, that can't does not exist, because I can and I will and I do. And that was actually on my graduation hat from when I graduated with my master's degree. It says she did because she could. So I really just love the empowerment message that I'm doing. And I'm really happy that women and girls and men, everyone is really supporting the brand so far. I'm really excited to where it's going to go. Awesome. I think it's going to be great things. It's going to do great things. And as long as I follow God and follow his direction, I think everything will go well in the end.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. It's just interesting to watch empowerment through fashion and everything you're doing with your brand. So your brand is deeply rooted in the concept of empowerment. How do you ensure that this theme is consistently reflected in your clothing designs and the overall message of the Falsetto, the label?
Really good question. So I really like to focus on what the shirt says and what it means. I don't like to put any type of words on the shirt. Like one of my t-shirts that my daughter and her friends love is tough cookie. Like, it's such a nice, cute term, but it's really like, hey, you're tough and you can do anything. So really like what the word actually means. I have another shirt that says leading lady. So I really want words that empower. I want people to feel good. And also, I also ask customers, hey, give me some feedback on what do you think? How do you feel wearing that? What is the message? How does the message feel to you when you wear that? To really get their feedback, to make sure it's really resonating and that folks feel empowered ultimately.
So you're really working with your customers to refine all of these concepts with regards to your brand, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's the best way to do it. They're putting their hard-earned money to purchase my clothing, and they're the ones that matter ultimately. What they like, what they don't like, how I can improve things overall to make it a great product.
So a significant part of your business model involves donating 20% of your sales to domestic violence charities. Now, just to go back to your personal experience, do you think there was anything that you could have done to support your sister, be there for your sister? Did you see it coming? A lot of us have relatives who are living in domestic violence relationships, and we never have the right words, the right tools, the right skills to help and support our relatives. Looking back, do you think there is anything you could have done, should have done? What advice would you give someone right now who has a sister, who has an aunt, who has a mother, who's in a domestic violence relationship, to support them and help them navigate out of it?
So I did see some signs early on with her boyfriend at the time. He was very possessive and wanted him all to himself. I had difficulty contacting her. I could only contact her when she was at work, so she wouldn't answer the phone when she was at home and around him. She wasn't able to go out just to like the movies or to a restaurant, just her and I, unless she checked in with him. She had to call him when she arrived, when she left. It was very possessive. So I did see those signs early on, and it got worse over the years. And my whole family, myself, we had tried to get her out of that situation. Didn't see it escalating to this manner. It was found through the court case that he has some mental health issues, several different compounding mental health issues, bipolarism, and the list goes on. A lot of narcissism in there as well. So, and my sister, they had a son together as well. So he's now left behind, and he has autism and is nonverbal at this moment, but he is improving. But yeah, there were signs early on, but I would say for anyone out there that is in a relationship, just to look at the signs in terms of domestic violence, it is that possessiveness, that you can't do certain things. You can't call your family or friends easily at any point in time, whether you're with the person or not. So the person really wants to really keep them to themselves, and not have you have open communication, because they don't want you to be convinced otherwise in terms of leaving, or put different ideas into your head. So those are like some really obvious signals that you can really look out for.
Yeah, they normally isolate their victims and make sure that they have no one to really talk about what's going on in the relationship. So these are just a few little things that people have to look out for to support family. So Falsetto, the label, collaborates with other small businesses that have a giving back ethos. Can you discuss how these partnerships are formed and the impact that they have on your brand and the community?
Yes, absolutely. So one brand in particular that I have a wholesale for that I include the small business is Empower. And it's an athleisure brand, and they carry athletic crop tops, leggings, shorts, and now they're expanding the brand as well. So how I formed this relationship was I followed the woman on Instagram actually, and I saw her brand. She came across my feed, and I just reached out to her and said, "Hey, I would love to have a conversation with you. I love your brand and what you're doing." And I saw that she offered wholesale opportunities and also gave back to women in need. So I set up a phone call with her, a video phone call. We had a conversation. She's based in Minnesota. Her name is Megan. She shared her story with me in terms of her background and some struggles that she had growing up. And she really couldn't find athleisure wear that was for all shapes and sizes. So she wanted to create something herself. And so she did and called it Empower. And it's spelled in such a way where it's Empowher. So it's spelled differently to really empower her, but it's spelled Empower. So she formed the brand, she created it, she models it herself, and she's a woman owned small business, and she's doing great. So just really connecting with people, being open and transparent. And we had a connection because she really resonated with my story as well in terms of her background. So we formed a relationship, and it's really gone well so far. It's very, very early on, so I'm waiting to see what the impact will be, but I think it's going to be great in the end.
That's really nice to see that you have creators who have the same values, the same vision, the same mission as you. That's really fantastic. It's interesting because I created a clothing brand when I was recovering from heart failure, and I'm launching it this year. So maybe I'll partner with you in some capacity to bring it to the US. My brand is a buy one brand where if somebody buys one of my dresses, we give away a dress to another woman in need. So I was overweight. I collapsed with congestive heart failure due to depression because I was going through a divorce. And because I was overweight, I couldn't wear anything that made me feel and look good. So I decided at the age of 49 to be a model and to start making these caftans that have a drawstring on the inside. And as you lose weight, you pull the drawstring and it flattens your tummy and you look and you feel elegant. It's a feel-good brand. I'm now partnering with the Cancer Society here in Australia. And when somebody buys the dress, it can be gifted anonymously to someone you don't know, or you can choose who you want the second dress to go to. So I'm very similar to Socks for Happy People. That's kind of what I'm doing with my brand, or Tommy's Shoes.
I love that. That's incredible. That is so good. I would love to partner with you. That's amazing. And then be able to cinch it in too. Like I would wear that myself.
So we need to talk about that after this interview, okay?
Sounds great.
So with your background in marketing and strategic communication, how do you leverage these skills to promote your brand and its mission effectively?
And so I use a variety of methods because marketing things are always changing. You have to keep up with what's going on in the world in terms of marketing trends. So I do a lot of research in terms of my target audience, like what are they looking for? Like where are my buyers located? In terms of their age range as well, because my focus is really families. It's predominantly, of course, women and girls, but I also have a unisex line as well that's for men and little boys as well. So I use of course, the trend now is social media. So you have your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So I've used those media streams there. And I also serve as my own public relations and pitching myself to different media outlets. So I use a variety of different tools and also using analytics as well to see who is visiting my website and from where and what time of the day. So it's really important when I post, what time of day I'm posting for, and what time it is for other locations as well. So I like to use a lot of variety of different methods, email marketing as well for my existing customers to really get those what I call hot leads back end to actually the brand. So it has to really be a good variety. And then I check the analytics to see how it's doing and see where I need to adjust.
So you're very data driven. And this is something that most entrepreneurs, we're so busy working in our businesses, we're not paying attention to how things are landing for the general public. We're not tracking who's following us at what time. Those are some really good tips for any entrepreneurs who are listening to this podcast right now. Can you talk about some of the specific products like the Tough Cookie, uniquely curate masterpiece designs, and what these messages mean to you personally?
The uniquely curated masterpiece one version t-shirt is my latest design. It's unisex, and in the Bible it talks about how to God we are his masterpiece. So that's what it's really modeled after for me. I'm a very strong believer in God, and he really directs everything that I do. So I really follow him. So I really just try to pull different pieces from the Bible. I pull different pieces from what my daughters say. Like, for example, for my daughter Brooke, in school, she has different teams that are broken up in her school. One's called Voyager, or one's called Trailblazer, and they're really empowering. I'm like, we're going to put that on a t-shirt. So I crafted t-shirts around that. So that also resonates for her classmates too. And she said, tells her friends, the Voyager and Trailblazer are coming out soon, so you stay tuned. And then she proudly wears it to school. So I pull it from different areas that really resonate with people, but it's always rooted in God for me, because he's just my everything, and he's who I rely on for everything. I mean, he's why I'm here in the first place. So he's like number one for me. But second, it's like my family and friends as well. I'm getting different ideas. What are you thinking about this? What empowers you like right now? Give me a message, because they're my customers too. So I'm a listener. I'm an avid listener.
Now, where did you get the funding to launch your business? You know, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle in the beginning. You have to buy the fabric, you have to order the products, you have to find where to get the clothes made. How did you launch your business? How did you bring this all together financially?
Yeah, so I also work full time for the federal government. So it's self-funded. I fund my own business. So I work really hard to do that, and I have to be really smart on how and where I spend my money. Because like you said, you have the materials, you have the actual designs themselves that I have made, and I heat press them on the t-shirts myself. You have the packaging, you have the website subscription, you know, I have like a registered agent. So there's all these fees that add up. But my full-time job is what does it. And I'm grateful to have that avenue, and I don't get any money from any investors or anything. So it's completely 100% self-funded.
What have been some of the biggest challenges and rewards of running a business that is so personal and closely tied to your life experiences?
In terms of my life experience is my family. It's like really deeply rooted in my family. And the challenge I have is really managing time, because I want to make sure that I'm managing time. Of course, I have my full-time job, and that's fine. But my family, I want to make sure I have time dedicated for them. And I have twin girls that are 9 years old. They're growing up. They have different sport activities, and they're in Girl Scouts. I'm actually their Girl Scout troop leader as well. So I wear many hats. That's a challenge that I have. I want to make sure that everyone feels heard and listened to and paid attention to, and my husband as well, making sure I have time with him as well. So I really have designated time that I work on Falsetto, the label, so nothing else is missing out. So that requires a schedule, and you have to stick to the schedule, because otherwise things are chaotic. So that's been a challenge that I've had to overcome through the past almost years. I'm coming up on a year for Falsetto, the label. So that's something that I've really had to focus on, is time management.
Beyond financial donations, in what other ways does Falsetto, the label, engage with and support the community, particularly those affected by domestic violence?
Yeah, so in my town in Massachusetts, there is like a domestic violence charity walk. So there's one coming up in the fall that I plan to participate in. And also there's also other charities that asked for Falsetto label to sponsor local charity events. There was like a recent skating ring event in a local town next to me that I was asked to participate in, donate a few clothing items, which I did. So there's a variety of different avenues. And I've also spoke at speaking events as well for women conferences in my local area. Another town in like our city in Massachusetts, Boston. So I went into Boston for a local event to really speak about my brand story and try to empower women as they're going about their journey. So there's a variety of different avenues that really give back to the community and really share my story and helping them to be the best they can be in life.
Now, looking ahead, what are some of your long-term goals? And are there any new initiatives or expansions that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, so my long-term goals is to incorporate at least up to 10 women-owned small businesses in my brand that have a mission to give back. I'm passionate about domestic violence, but also there are other causes out there that I want to support, and I'm open. So being able to partner with other small businesses and incorporating their products and purchasing them wholesale, I can really support their causes as well, because I think there's so many incredible causes out there that need to be supported. I know mental health awareness is a huge one right now, people that are really struggling in that area. So I really want to expand my reach. There's one Bible verse that really talks about charities, like faith, love, and charity. I think is a Bible verse. It's in 1 Corinthians. And it says, and of these things, like charity is the most important. So I really want to expand my reach to as many causes as possible. So 10 small businesses is my long-term goal.
What advice would you give other entrepreneurs who want to incorporate social missions into their business models? And how can they balance profit and purpose effectively?
Yeah, so for other small businesses for social causes, I would really say first do your research, because you can coordinate with your governmental agencies, see what laws that may be upcoming, that may be passed soon, to really understand how to support your cause and how you can really effectuate change. But also in terms of profit and balancing that, you really have to figure out how much you want to donate to different causes to make sure that you still get a bit of profit to also support the business as well. Look at that business model. There's research out there online you can do in terms of how other small businesses have done that successfully. I mean, I really believe in the data. I mean, it's like, show me the receipts. The proof is in the pudding. So I really believe, do your own research, figure out what's out there in terms of successful businesses that have done that, because they can share their lessons learned as well. I mean, for me, I targeted 20% because that, to me, I got that, like, kind of got that message from God, the feeling I think I really need to stick with 20%. For me, the rest of the profit, in terms of getting a higher profit, doesn't really matter to me, because I'm helping others. I'm supporting other charities to support their goals to raise this awareness. So of course, it's great to have an idea in mind, but make sure it's backed up by data as well. And hey, if God gives you a vision, follow that and just forget about what I said, because he's what matters in the end.
I have two last questions that I ask all of my guests. They're both a time experiment. The first one, I'm going to teleport you back into your past, and we're going to go and have a conversation with that young woman who lost her sister. If I could take you back to that point and give you 3 nuggets of wisdom on how to survive, how to deal with the grief, what advice would you have wanted somebody to have given you at that point?
I would definitely say first thing is go see a therapist, because at that point in time, for almost a year after, I could not talk about it because it was so shocking what happened. The horrific, her losing her life due to her boyfriend, domestic violence. I couldn't communicate and express how I was feeling because I was so shocked. So really, it took me a year to go see a therapist. And once I did, I was so glad that I did. So definitely see a therapist. Secondly, talk to your family and friends. It's important that you receive support within your community as well. And I think a third thing is really good to journal. I think it's good to write out your feelings. If you're not able to communicate it, write it down, because that will allow you to use a tool that will allow you to eventually communicate what's happening in your head and how you're feeling. Like, your body feels it first, and then you can express it. But if you write it down and actually see it and digest it, you might be able to better communicate it and how you're feeling overall.
Yeah, writing is very cathartic. It's like you're taking what's in your head, you're putting it on paper. It gives you some sense of relief. So I do a lot of therapy with people all around writing down their thoughts. So, last question. I'm going to teleport you into the future this time. And we're going to go and meet the 100-year-old you, maybe the 120-year-old you. With science and technology, we're living longer, right? If I could take you into the future to go and meet this wise woman who's been guiding you all your life, if you could go and have a conversation with her right now, what will you say to her when you finally meet her?
That's a really good one. I would say to give yourself grace, and everything good takes time. I've had moments where I tried to rush things and I've been influenced by what other people are doing in life. And once I actually just sat down and thought about it and prayed about it, it's like my timeline is going to be different than everyone else. So really giving myself grace has really helped me a lot, that, hey, everything's not perfect and some things are going to have to be good enough. So really giving myself grace and also the time has really helped me a ton in my business and also personal life as well, to really digest things and then really have that moment to myself and God as well, that, hey, I can figure this out. I can do this.
Katrina, it always gives me pleasure to meet women who are out there in business, but business on purpose, where you're not only making money for yourself or your family, but you're giving back to the community. You're giving back to leave a legacy, especially the legacy to your sister, and to try and end domestic violence for women all around the world. So thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today. It's an absolute honor to have met you.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. This has been amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And thank you to everybody who's tuned in today. The Her Story Circle is a platform that brings you stories and voices of women from all over the world. We share our stories to uplift you, to inspire you, to support you, to empower you. So tune in again tomorrow when I interview yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.